So Black history means to me a time to look back on our past, to see how far we've came, and then also see how far that we also need to go. It's also a time to celebrate who we are, and also to be celebrated at a time that we were not able to in the past.
Black History Month, it really allows us to really celebrate a lot of the challenges that we've had as a nation and be able to go back and look at the stories, good, bad, and different, whether it's from, Frederick Douglass or Martin Luther King or even Malcolm X, and really look at the stories, the history of how they approached things, and go back and celebrate what they did well and understand how it galvanized us as a people group to allow people to really function indiscriminate of their color, their race, or where they come from, but really be able to just celebrate one another and understand how to overcome issues in a right manner. So I think Black history, celebrating that, it does that tremendously.
When we say Black history is our history, it just means to me a month where we can continue to integrate all the various histories that make up who we are as Americans.
I've never limited Black history into a specific month. To me, Black history is American history. I'm always conscious of the struggles, hardships, and achievements of Black Americans before me who've made it possible for me to enjoy the opportunity to have a successful career in life.
Black history is an opportunity to create awareness, showcase history, but also to celebrate, knowing that there is more work to be done.
There's a time where we won't look at people based on their color, their skin, but the content of their character. And ultimately, we're in a position where we just get to flow in that. We get to treat people as they would want to be treated indiscriminately. And in our position, no matter who we are, we get to do that and just really function at that high level as we do what we're called to do.
Well, there are many more substantial and obvious moments in American history that have shaped my life and career, such as Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. But on a more personal note, not many people know this about me, but a dream of mine was to become a classically trained pianist. And I extensively studied classical music privately in high school, but I always felt uncomfortable. I always felt alone when I would go to performances and I would perform because no one looked like me. And fortunately, my teacher at the time picked up on this, and she gave me a recording of the first Black internationally acclaimed classical pianist who's actually still living today, Andre Watts. And learning about his accomplishments and his life story gave me the fortitude I needed to pursue music at university level and get a bachelor's in music in addition to my healthcare-related degrees.
I think Black history in general has shaped who I am today. I would not be able to be where I am today or live the life that I live today if it wasn't for those who came before me to pave that way.
When I think about my personal experience, is that it can be done, it's possible. That because of where you start is not always where you'll end up. And you just have to push forward. If you're told you can't, say why not, push forward.
I was visiting Whitney Plantation in Louisiana, and so I stood there in that home and I was looking out the window on a small stream and thinking about the fact that the DNA mapping of Black Americans is rich with resiliency. When you think about all those generations handing on, like the power to resist, persist, and persevere in humanity and in the dignity of the human person, and that really runs through our veins. I want to commend CHRISTUS Trinity Mother Francis because just being here over the past 4 years, I have seen a greater diversity among the leadership staff. And I don't think we should have diversity for diversity's sake, but I do think we should have diversity for the sake of being followers of Jesus Christ. Because Christ in God, right, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, is diversity. So the Father is not the Son is not the Father, and neither of them is the Holy Spirit. So we cannot have authentic unity without diversity.